is the Big O Show. This 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 is the Big O Show.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
When you move, you need a reliable company.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
Viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. It's time for Dolphins football. Welcome to the EJDConstruction.com Miami Dolphins Pregame Show on the Sports Talk 305 network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Shobe. EJDConstruction.com is a fully insured liability and workers' comp. Call Eric if you need a custom home builder or general contractor. 305-433-4843. Here's your host, the Big O.
Oh, baby! What we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for it all off season. We've gone through mini camps and passing camps and QB camps, and we've gone through training camp, and we've gone through the preseason, and we've dealt with all the negativity, and it is over already. We're done with all this crap. It is time to line it up, baby. It is time to watch the Dolphins make their march to the Super Bowl. Don't allow the FUD. Okay? Don't allow the FUD. I already saw it with Joe Shad this morning. Well, he puts up the TV show. They're like saying none of them are picking the Dolphins. They're all picking the Chargers. So let me ask you something. Were they picking LAFC against Inter Miami? Yeah. They all picked LAFC. They thought they were going to kick their ass even with Messi. What happened? Inter won. Last night, they were all picking Sporting KC against Inter. Who won? Inter. They were all picking Texas A&M against the University of Miami. Who won? Last week, they picked TCU against Colorado. Who won? Yesterday, Nebraska and their big bad defense was going to be too much for Colorado. Who won? Don't listen to them. Don't even bother with these losers, okay? They're all going to go against the Dolphins, whatever. You got to go out and prove it, right? And you know what? That's the beauty of the theme of this game. Go out and prove it, right? Austin Jackson, people don't believe in you. Go out and prove it. Kendall Lamb, you've done nothing this offseason to make anybody feel uncomfortable about your performance. And you know what? Go out and prove it. He's had a hell of an offseason in training camp and preseason. The guy's looked very capable of actually filling in for Teron Armstead. So go out and prove it, dude. It's pretty simple. Go out and prove it. And so now you get the Khalil Mack and Boza combination, right? Mack and Boza. Well, this is the perfect start right now for Austin Jackson. Because if Austin Jackson can hold up his own against Joey Boza, then he's going to be able to hold up his own for the rest of the season, right? If he does well today, it will quell all of our concerns. All of a sudden, you and I will not be as nervous about Austin Jackson anymore if he does pretty good today against Joey Boza. And he's got to go out and prove it. Mike McDaniel and Tua Tagovailoa, go out and prove it, dude. Go out and prove it, right? You look terrible in that last game. I blame more McDaniel than Tua, but Tua's going to be thrown in there because he played like shit. So, guys, you need to adjust and counter, and we'll see how you do it, right? I'm expecting a big season out of Jalen Phillips, right? My big dog is up here, Maiden. Anyway, I don't know how my dogs got up here, but my dogs got up here. But anyway, so Jalen Phillips, right? I'm expecting a big season from Jalen Phillips. Well, Jalen Phillips needs to kind of step it up. Just because I'm expecting a big season doesn't mean it's going to happen, right? But we'll see. I'm expecting Jalen Phillips to be a stud this year, and he's got – go out and prove it. Go out and prove it, okay? That's what you got to do if you're Jalen Phillips. And, by the way, Bradley Chubb, he's no longer in the club, right? He's healthy now. No longer 50 Cent now, right? He's not in the club. Now he's got to find a way to get stuff done. So, it's one of those deals where Chubb, they signed you to a big deal. You did not come through big last year. You ended up injured. You now have your coach. Go out and prove it. X, you're going to be cut at the end of the year. You know it. Your agent knows it. I know it. I've told everybody. We all know it. Well, you're playing for a contract next year, either for the Dolphins to prove to them that they cannot let you go, that if you want to make another run, you got to keep me, or you got to prove it to somebody else that may want you. There's a lot to prove here, and that's the beauty of all of this. Christian Wilkins, you want pass rushing money. Oh, okay, but you're not a pass rusher. Okay, well, then we'll table this and become a pass rusher this year, and then we'll give you the money. A lot of people got a lot of things to prove. Okay, right now, it's like the crowd in general, fans, coaches, media, we're all iced tea, right? And all these Dolphins I talked about, they're all Pookie. You got a lot to prove, Pook. You owe a lot of people. Well, that's kind of what we're talking about. Eli Apple. Eli Apple's bounced around because he's been inconsistent, especially on man-on-man coverage. Might be a little better in zone. That's why maybe this scheme might help him a little bit. But Eli, bro, you don't stay anywhere. Will you do enough to stick around? Or will Miami immediately, once everyone else is settled in and Cam grows up and Kohu and Nick Needham gets back, will they just discard you and put you to the back of the line? And all of a sudden, instead of being corner number 2 or 3, you're corner number 5 or 6. So it's up to you, Eli Apple. There's a lot of people that I got a lot to prove. Connor Williams wanted more money. He didn't get it. They said, no, you haven't proven enough to get more money. And your bad snapping in the offseason kind of backed up what the Dolphins said about you. So there's a lot to prove today. Everybody's got something to prove. And you've got your doubters out there. You got people that are picking the Chargers. I'm a homer. What can I tell you? I'm an absolute homer on this one. I'm picking the Dolphins. I'm taking the money line. I'm taking the points. I like the Dolphins in this game. I do. I like the Dolphins in this game. And we're going to find out, dude. We're going to find out. There's a lot to prove, and this is going to be a lot of fun. Hey, Mario Cristobal and his staff, after last season, had a lot to prove, and they did it. Last night, Inter Miami, without 8 players, including, of course, the best player in the world winning it for Argentina against Ecuador on a free kick. Where have we seen that before? They went, people counted them out, and dude, they went and outplayed the shit out of Sporting KC, who desperately needed that win. They get that win, they're in the playoff bracket. Miami kept them out of the playoff bracket yesterday and put themselves 6 points out of the last playoff spot with 8 games to go. They just continue to pile up the points. They had something to prove, right? Oh, we're better. Remember, Messi was on the bench against New York, and Miami had outplayed New York until Messi came in the 60th minute. But up until that point, Inter Miami had outplayed the Red Bulls without Messi, without Busquets. You get to a point where you've got to prove something, right? And here's the moment where you got to prove something. And Mike McDaniel, my man, you got to prove you're a better coach than you were last year. You did a good job last year. You got in the playoffs. Even with all those injuries, I think it's a magnificent job to get into the playoffs. Okay, that's not enough anymore. You got the kind of team that should be able to make an impact in the playoffs. So barring injury, get your ass in gear, run the ball more, become a better coach, adjust. You did not adjust against the Chargers last year. You did a shit job. The Chargers kept doing the same shit all game long and stifled you, and you did not counter. So I'm going to be interested to see how you counter. So Mike McDaniel's IQ is on the line today against Brandon Staley. So there's a lot, man, and that's the beauty of this game today, that there's a lot on the line, and there's a lot to prove for a lot of people. And we'll see. We're going to find out. We're going to find out a lot about the Miami Dolphins, not just this week, but over the next month and a half. We'll see where this team is at. They've got to already overcome adversity, offensive line issues. Let me tell you, folks, they're all over the place. So adjust, find the way. And, one of the things that that becomes kind of a bunch of crap is the way people paint the picture with the offensive line last year. And they make it sound like it was the 2 years before that, and it was not. Was it great? No, hell no, dude. Was it really good? No, not at all. It was serviceable. Tua was not running for his life. Did Tua lose the Chargers game because the offensive line allowed too much pressure? No. It's because they crowded the middle of the field, and Mike McDaniel didn't counter, and they looked kind of lost there. That's it. Wasn't that the game where there was that lucky pickup by X off the ground and he took it for a touchdown, right? That was some bullshit lucky touchdown in there.
I think it was Tyreek.
Yeah, Tyreek picked up that fumble and took it to the house. So you got lucky with all of that. But offensively, you failed miserably last year. And so you need to come up with a much better game plan. You need to show me that guy is a step or two behind you with the way you've coached this game. And I want to see your commitment to the running game, because the Chargers can't stop the run. Now, they added a couple tackles and a linebacker in the offseason. Doesn't necessarily mean they shorted up, but I want to see you run the damn ball. I want to see you be really good at running the ball this year. And if you're a good coach, then you're going to be able to scheme some of this stuff. So get it done. You've got the team. And by the way, the way this offensive line is structured, don't kid yourselves. A lot of it was driven by the people that run the offense. So they're the ones that have believed in Austin Jackson and Eichenberg. It's not so much the general manager that drafted them, okay? I'm sure he does too, but those guys could have made any changes that they wanted to make, just like they have. And drafting A-Chain and drafting guys that they thought that, Azukama, I'm sure that was the coach saying, I could get a little Debo Samuel work out of that guy. So he was looking at that kind of stuff, and you saw a little flash of it in the preseason. It'll be interesting to see if we see some of that Azukama stuff now. True Fin Fan says, run the ball. And he's right. Don't forget, folks, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. Reach out to us there. Let me see something here. Make sure. Okay. True Fin Fan, he says, finally, cojones. That's his first super chat of the year. In other words, can't wait. It's here finally for those of us out there that don't speak Spanish. True Fin Fan sends in the second super chat of the pregame show. He says, picking the Chargers, 17-6 Miami. We do have some games going on right now on the docket, and I got to tell you, I was let me see if nothing has changed. Okay, it has changed a little bit here. Let's go to the scores around the NFL right now. Give you what's going on. Let me refresh here. Panthers are leading the Falcons 10-7. 10 minutes left in the third quarter. Halftime, the Browns are blanking the Bengals 10-0. Jags are leading the Colts 14-7. Buccaneers and Vikings are tied at 10-10. I'm interested to see in that game. Did Baker Mayfield throw it? Yeah, he threw a touchdown. 6 of 15 is not really good. 63 yards. He's averaging 4 yards a completion. That's not really good. Kirk Cousins has already thrown a touchdown and an interception, and he's thrown for 273 yards at halftime. Justin Jefferson has 138, and they weren't able to agree to a contract before the season started here. It is the Saints losing to the Titans 9-6. Our friend Ryan Tannehill is 5 of 14 and a robust 83 yards. Derrick Henry has 10 rushes for 51 yards in that game. Derek Carr, 13 of 28 for 142 yards. Not necessarily the sexiest game. There's not a lot of good games this week, to be quite honest. The NFL did not set it up. The Niners are just crushing the Steelers right now, 20-7. Kenny Pickett has not looked good. Maybe they settle in more in the second half, but halftime right now, 20-7. The Cardinals are leading the Commanders 13-10. I did not see that coming. It's only halftime, so the Cards can screw all of this up. But still, I thought the Commanders would be the better team here right now. I didn't think I thought the Cards would be really, really bad. So that would have been, well, I don't know. It hasn't ended yet, but I probably would have laid the points with the Commanders. Okay, so I would have screwed you guys on that one. I didn't give my picks, but I would have screwed you guys on that one. I can tell you that. Well, we'll see if it ends the way it's. I think it was -7 Washington. I would have laid the points because I thought the Cards are going to be just absolutely brutal. How about the Texans and the Ravens? They're hanging in there. Ravens are only leading 7-6 here. Lamar Jackson has an interception. He is 7 of 11 for 60 yards. Obviously leading the way on the ground, 5 for 38 right now. So C.J. Stroud is 14 of 22 for 100 yards right now. So that's what you've got going on in the first slate of games here at 1 o'clock. Packers at Bears at 4:25. Same thing for Raiders at Broncos. You got that. Obviously, Eagles at Patriots, and Dolphins Chargers, which is what we're talking about. Rams and Seahawks. And then tonight you've got the Cowboys and the Giants. Tomorrow night, Bills at Jets. So we'll see what happens, and we'll keep you updated. I would imagine the Eagles are going to pound the shit out of the Patriots in this game. Let me see what we got on the chat board. If you got any questions, comments, Brian Walters is the first guy in. Says, happy first game is today. Let's see if we can stay undefeated in college and pro. Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice. Great win for the Canes. They're so happy for Mario, man. And it looks like the Cam Kitchens thing was kind of like a stinger. So that's pretty cool that it's not necessarily serious. Frankie Fresco, Gus 1388, Isaiah, Phil Montgomery, DL, Marco Rocks, Tom Stockel. Games so far are evidence that many starters didn't get many season reps. Yeah, they don't. I told you guys on the show that people would say, oh, I know this team and ready to go. Bullshit, dude. You have not seen enough. They don't hit anymore. The first month of the season is it's an extended training camp, basically. The better coaches, the coaches that are the best at adjusting to what's going on in the first month are the ones that are going to come out that first month the best way. The ones that don't do well of adjusting, they're the ones that are going to end up suffering in this first month. Ryan AP is in. Josh is in. The Canes are ranked 22. They should be ranked. Colorado and the Canes should be ranked. Colorado should be ranked higher, but Canes should be ranked. And obviously Texas A&M no longer ranked. Boy, those people have got to be unhappy. Silver Doman is in the house. He says, attention Dolphins, they will lose today. Brooklyn Rob, good morning, Owen Sean. Our waiting has the day we've all been waiting for has arrived, he says. Geraldo is in. Bromar Smelly, Ragin, Stephen Harris. It's the most wonderful time of the year. I agree. Stephen Gonzalez. Tom Stockel reminds everybody, hit that like button, hit the notification bell. Let's go. It's 223 right now watching, and there's only 66 likes. Come on, man. Let's go. Hit that like button. It's very important. You hit that like button. Irving Figueroa's got Miami winning 27-21. Dude 67 is in. Within Mario we trust. Canes are coming back to form. That was a dominant win over Texas A&M, an SEC school. I think they can win the ACC this year, but FSU looks like, FSU should be the contender in the conference. The way Clemson played, Miami can give Clemson some problems. Stephen Harris is in, I see. Rosendo. He says, Heavenly Father, I ask this Sunday would be filled with your grace and peace. Amen to that, sir. Revo is in. Joseph says, absolutely agree. Run the ball. Control the clock. Finns win. Peter Holland says, look across the league. There's a lot of bad O-line play. Yeah, everywhere. That's why coaching and keeping things off balance and motion and all that kind of stuff is very important. And having your quarterback move and change the launch point, also very important too. You've got to mix it up. You've got to try to keep defenses off balance. And you've got to get creative with your blocking scheme. Andres Orozco is in. Christian says, very nervous about this game. You should be. It's game one. We don't know what to expect. Even though I feel good and I think they're going to win. But, that's understandable, dude. Ingold and Berrios could have huge days. Let's hope so. Stephen Harris says, Big O, are we going to have Solo D with the prep song? We got Solo D. I messaged Roger Morant. I haven't seen a Roger rap. Have you seen a Roger rap, Sean? Because I know we have the Solo D one, and we'll play it in hour number 2 to get ready to start. We'll start hour number 2 with Solo D's rap to at the top of the hour, which is 3:25 in this case. So we'll do that. Burrow looking terrible. Well, remember, he has not practiced much. He just got back. So that's normal. I know that if it was Tua, it would be, oh, Tua sucks. He lost it, all this and that. I would tell you, hey, Tua hasn't practiced all preseason. Then, I'm a homer and I'm making excuses. But let me make the excuse for Joe Burrow, which is a normal excuse. He has not played a lot. He needs to practice and timing, all that. He'll be fine, dude. He's a hell of a quarterback. He's fine. It's all right. It's game one. It's not the end of the world. Let's see. But it's funny, if it was Tua, the world would be losing their shit. Okay. Let's see. Wow. Damn, Steve is quick, dude. We're talking about the flights to Vegas this morning, and did you see that in your email? You got your flight to Vegas already, Sean? Oh man, that is awesome. So we are set to go to Vegas. They just sent us our flights. That is great. Let's see. Marlon G says, I want to see Fangio scheme up. Exactly. Chad is in the house. Let's see. David VH, Big O with a new Jack City reference. That's right. Jermaine, Burrow got paid. Now looks, it's a lack of playing time, bro. Relax. Big O, I got the Fire Stick. It's working great. Big win today. There you go, Jafrard. Good for you, bro. Mob Rule is in. Arcarillo. Give us those likes. Let's go. 235. There's only 104. That means less than half of you are not giving us some love. And this gets it out to more Dolphin fans. Helps the channel grow. Hit the notification bell. That way you know when we go live. Jason M., David Akers, True Fin Fan says, I don't understand these Miami reporters. Yes, Tua had a rough game last year, but we're not injured. How many TDs did Herbert score in a decimated defense? Shut the front up. Exactly. That's everybody, like they talk about Herbert's performance, but he didn't score, dude. They moved the ball between the 10s, but they didn't score. He had one touchdown in the entire game. Oh, Herbert was amazing. Yeah, he did great moving the ball, but it's about scoring and finishing drives. Miami depleted and everything, lost by 6 points. That's why I don't look at this game like I'm super nervous and that they can't overcome. I think that's a load of crap, to be quite honest. Big O, looks like the state of Florida is still winning a championship. Coco Gauff won in tennis. That's right. Manny J. Snow says, checking in for duty, Big O. Needs solid O-line play from the Phinz. Cheo Malanga says, saludos a todos. Let's go Dolphins. Abajo el comunismo, carajo. There we go. All right. Roy Smith, Miami 31-10 defense scores twice. Big O. No, I don't. You know what, Roy? I don't want to do that. You know why? If the defense scores twice, then I get all the assholes. Oh, well, Tua didn't play well. He was carried by the defense. Big O, I'll take a Phinz win any way we can get it. I'm with you, Joseph. I'm just having some fun with the whole Tua thing because I love spinning it because it's a spin. It's always a spin, right? It's always a spin. It's all right if it's all right for Joe Burrow to play bad, but not Tua Tagovailoa if he misses most of the preseason and training camp. Yeah. Herbert throws a pick six. That's kind of in his wheelhouse. Okay. Kevin Grant is in. C. Dola. Anthony Richardson looks good. I haven't watched the game, so I don't know. Has he looked good passing the ball? Has he looked accurate? That's what gets me excited about, some of the guys I'm watching in college. Like Caleb Williams is an accurate guy, and then you watch Shedeur. I didn't watch Shedeur as much at Jackson State. I saw a little bit here or there, but the competition you're playing against, it's hard for me to measure you. You know what I mean? And watching Shedeur Sanders, bro, that play that kid dropped in the end zone. Holy crap, man. To scramble and to put that ball on the money. That kid has got deadly accuracy, bro. That's what gets me excited. Accuracy. That's what makes it. So I'm not sure about Anthony Richardson and the accuracy part. And that's what I would ask you about with him. Has he been accurate? Chris just says $349 for the Sunday ticket. That hurt. Yeah, I can see that, bro. But if you now $349 over 17 games, it's not that bad, dude. You know what I'm saying? So that's where, you got to kind of offset it, So it's not too bad. It's not the worst thing in the world if you have your 17 games and you pay $349 per game. It doesn't come out to a lot of money. And if you have a couple people over, then you're more than milking it. So if you think macro, you remember how I tell you all the time when we talk about investing and all that, you think macro and not micro. Well, you rich guys can think the micro because, hey, God bless you. You rich women out there, you can think micro because, you got the cash. But us working blue-collar people, we got to think macro. My objective pick, Phinz 30, Chargers 13. Big O, is it me because I'm pissed about Toronto always injured? No, I mean, that's kind of, it comes with the territory. You knew it when they signed him that he's very injury-prone. He's not a durable player. He's tough, but he's not durable. I'm so sick of hearing all these Goldilocks Herbert size queens. Yeah, it's kind of because it's lazy. That's all. It's lazy. Herbert is Phillip Rivers 2.0 with a better pullout game. Yeah, he kind of reminds me a lot of an athletic Jeff George. People on 560 were saying that Herbert was incredible against Miami last year when he couldn't do much when he was in the red zone. I know. He threw one touchdown. So Richardson looked better than Tannehill. Well, that's not saying much. I would like to see immediate returns on the coveted and hyped Fangio hire. Nothing better than a dominant defense. CD Alpha, I got to tell you something. That better happen. That better happen. Your left tackle's not out. No, your defensive ends are playing. Your linebackers are playing. Your defensive tackles are playing. You're missing a corner, but you've got a veteran in Eli Apple. You've got a very capable young man in Kader Kohu. Okay? So get it done. You've got one of the best safeties in the league in Javon Holland. And X was unhealthy all of last year with one or two growing injuries. Well, he's got none. Brandon Jones is back. I don't want to hear anything. They added David Long at linebacker. I think Jerome Baker is playing in a much better position for him this year than he was last year. So Fangio has zero excuses. Zero. CD, you have to get results right away from Vic Fangio. Right away. That has to pay. I understand A-Chain being inactive today. I'll give you an example, okay? Let's talk about that because A-Chain got inactive today. Now, it's cool. He's a rookie. Maybe he doesn't have all his assignments down pat yet. Maybe he's not a big part of the special teams right now. And he does a lot of the same things that Salvon Ahmed does. So why have the same guy? Activate Chris Brooks instead. Why? Because he brings a little punch. He's different than Mostert. He's different than Ahmed. So now that gives you a variety of backs that you can use. And that's why I told you that even with Jeff Wilson out, you still had 4 backs. You don't really even need 4 backs. 3 is more than enough. So A-Chain not being ready yet, or maybe they think scheme-wise, maybe they want to pound the shit out of the Chargers today. So maybe Brooks is ahead of A-Chain right now. He does a fabulous job of reading the holes, dude. We'll find out. You know what I'm saying? So some people, A-Chain's inactive. Not a big deal, dude. He's a young running back, and I'm not expected to be carried by A-Chain. I thought he was just going to be a complimentary back, 5 carries or a little bit more, maybe 5 to 10, which I think eventually he'll be that guy. But Raheem Mostert is the man. And then the others will then complement after that. And so, Chris Brooks and Salvon Ahmed deserves this. Salvon Ahmed has earned this right. Okay? We do have the inactives right now. Skylar Thompson, but remember, he's the emergency third quarterback. Cedric Wilson Jr. is inactive. Elijah Campbell. Remember, we told you that Elijah Campbell was out this week and that after this week, he is week to week. Okay? We gave you that news earlier this week on the platform ahead of everybody else before anybody else comes up with it. Devon A-Chain, as you all know, Teron Armstead, and here's the surprise, Julian Hill. And again, rookie, a moment where maybe you're going to use Durham Smythe. You're going to block more, maybe in this game, because you want to run the ball more. And Durham Smythe knows the playbook already and is very serviceable, very solid. He's an exceptional number 2 tight end on any team. I know that he's the number 1 here, and you'd rather have somebody a little better. I think they'd like somebody more dynamic, overall. But that one's kind of an interesting one because I really wanted to see Julian Hill. That was one of my picks to make the 53-man roster. I'm one of the guys that wasn't surprised that Julian Hill actually made it. Obviously, we knew Peely would make it. I had Brooks and I had Julian Hill making it, and both made the 53-man roster. But I'll tell you who did get activated, which is another one of my guys, is Cameron Good. So kind of interesting that Cameron Good's also going to be used in this game, because what I like about Cameron Good is the versatility that he can be an inside guy, an outside guy. I think he's a guy that has versatility, can be used against a run, can be used as a pass rusher, so there's a lot of versatility there. So it's interesting how one name in Julian Hill does not get activated, and then another young name in Cameron Good gets activated from the practice squad for this matchup. So I find that actually to be really, really interesting. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. And you can make a Bitcoin donation through Cash App or Venmo. That is always our favorite donations. Peter German on Venmo, Cash Big O Show, says it's a new season. Keys to the game: 1, Dolphins need to run for 100. 2, protect Tua with screens and quick passing. And 3, D-line needs to dominate. I would agree with all of that. Thank you, Peter. Appreciate you. As always, Cash Big O Show on Cash App or Venmo. And, of course, you can make a Bitcoin donation. True Fin Fan sends in on the Super Chat. In your opinion, strongest arm in NFL history? It's tough, bro. Favre, Elway, Bartkowski. Warren Moon had I want to say just an effing rifle, a cannon, a howitzer. Okay. Warren Moon was so awesome. There's a couple of those guys, man. Like, nobody's going to mention Steve Bartkowski unless they're like hardcore like I am. Most people would never mention Steve Bartkowski in the same sentence. And Steve Bartkowski can throw it as far as anybody, as hard as anybody. It's just he's Steve Bartkowski, and he was stuck with the Falcons, and nobody gives him any freaking love. You know what I'm saying? But Steve Bartkowski was a man and a half, bro, back there. He just was on a bad organization, unfortunately. I don't think there's one guy. Culpepper had a pretty strong arm too, But I think it's really hard to just give it to one guy. But those guys I just mentioned are pretty much in that category of the hardest throwers I've seen. You know, they're right up there. That would be probably my list. Maybe I'm forgetting one person that also had like a really, really, really strong arm. Yeah, Jeff George is another one that had an absolute cannon. But Jeff George also had he threw one of the most beautiful footballs I've ever seen in my entire life. Now, it wasn't just a strong arm. It was a beautiful football that came out of his hand, bro. It was just gorgeous, dude. Like, it was picture perfect. Flacco's a good one too, Revo. That's a good one. Burt Jones pretty good too. That's actually pretty good. That's a pretty good one. I remember Burt getting injured a lot. That's what I remember about him. The YouTube multi-view is pretty cool. Go Phinz. There you go. Thank you all out there and remember, we need watch hours. So watch as much as you can. Even if you have to walk away, let it play. Okay? I'm saying that's how we earn money on here. Watch hours. So length of time. So whenever you get opportunities, watch and let it play, dude. Please. Thank you, Leon Fresco, for the super chat. It would be interesting how Tua reacts when he is hit. Will remember to throw the ball before he gets hit. We'll see. Everything will start to be answered now for all of you out there that are freaking out about all of this stuff. Byron Leftwich did throw it hard. Yes, it took him 8 hours to wind up and throw it. But yes, you are correct. You know, I didn't watch Johnny U play personally. Watching it on television, it did not look like Brett Favre. That's all I can tell you. Johnny U was a great quarterback, but his arm does not look like it's like a bullet coming out of his arm. It's a strong arm, okay, but no, not like that. At least Again, I didn't see him personally, so it would have to be somebody that saw him personally. And Rosendo, I've seen you. You didn't see him personally either, by the way. No, CD, I saw Bartkowski play. I'm telling you, Bartkowski had a freaking cannon and a half. I'm telling you, very few people in the history of football have had a stronger arm than Steve Bartkowski. It's just nobody knows who Steve Bartkowski is. That's the problem. Yes, great weekend so far with UM and Inter. Yes, yeah. And Marlins have split, right? They won Friday and they lost yesterday. If they can win today, then it becomes a good weekend also for the Marlins. Okay, 2 of 3 against the Phillies, just like 2 of 3 against the Dodgers in the middle of a playoff race. That is absolutely huge, dude. Absolutely huge.
And right now they're tied at 3 going to the bottom of the 7th.
I'm sorry, they're tied at 3, you said?
Tied at 3 heading to the bottom of the 7th.
There you go. So if Marlins win today, let's not forget the Marlins, bro. Let's give them some love too. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Frederick Mayer, thank you for the love on Venmo, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. Thank you, Frederick Mayer. Big Cash Big O Show on Cash App or Venmo. Very nice. And we always love ourselves a little Bitcoin donation, although the altcoins are taking a hit right now, dude. I mean, big time. Big time. Just a little crypto tip. FTX is going to unload well over $600 million of Solana tokens. Solana was at $24 in the last month. It's down now to 18. It's been going like this. And that's because they're in the middle of selling off $600 million. Solana's going to go under $10. When it goes under $10, you do what you want. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy that loves crypto. Load up. That's all I got to say. Load up, because Solana is going to explode when the bear run when the bear run is done and the bull market starts. Just a little crypto tip in the middle of it, since I know that FTX is about to unload $600 million of Solana, and that is going to bring the price down overall, and then it's going to just absolutely catapult after that. Big O Packers are in talks with Colts for Jonathan Taylor. Yeah, who told you that? Think about that. They're not willing to pay Aaron Jones, but they're going to trade a high pick and also pay. I don't know. What do you got there, Sean?
I was going to say, it could be worse for us. The Patriots, both their starting guards are out today against the Eagles.
Well, the Patriots are interesting because they don't really even need backup quarterbacks or anything. So they're kind of they're a really interesting bunch, I got to say. Falcons and Panthers, by the way, are tied at 10. What do you got, Sean? What else?
I just noticed also Devontae Parker on the inactive list for the Patriots.
Shocker. Devontae injured? Browns leading the Bengals 10-3. Jags leading the Colts 17-14. Buccaneers leading the Vikings 17-10. Saints and Titans are tied up at 9. Well, that's an exciting game. Niners have extended their lead on the Steelers 27-7. Kenny Pickett, bro, having kind of a rough day. Kenny Pickett so far, 14 of 23, 89 yards, a touchdown and an interception. Brock Purdy, 17 of 24, 195 yards, 2 touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey already has 120 yards on the ground and 1 touchdown on 15 carries. And Brandon Ayuk has 7 receptions, 107 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Freaking amazing. They are dominating. Cards are leading the Commanders 16-10, and the Ravens are now leading the Texans 22-6. Lamar Jackson, 12 of 16, 124 yards, no touchdowns, and an interception. He does have 38 yards on the ground. So really, Lamar Jackson isn't really doing shit. What are they, winning on defense? Is that what it is? Let's see.
It's been a pretty sloppy game.
Yeah, J.K. Robbins with a 4-yard touchdown.
He's out also. He's gone from the game. He got injured.
Touchdown, Justice Hill, a 2-yard run, 2-point conversion. Gus Edwards rushes up the middle for it. Justice Hill with another 2-yard run. Justin Tucker with the extra point. So, yeah, it's, Lamar Jackson is just this amazing passer that everybody talks about. But, hey, that's all right, bro. We'll keep waiting for that amazing passer to show up out there. Good thing is they can run the ball, and they're playing a really, really bad team. Skylar Thompson, Cedric Wilson. Yes, we know the inactives, my brother. Thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate you. Mr. Bonafide says, honestly, most lefties that I think of threw the ball pretty hard. Vic, Steve Young, Stabler, and even Brunell. Brunell had a nice arm, not a cannon. Vic had a cannon. Steve Young had a nice arm, not a cannon. And Ken Stabler had a solid arm, not a cannon. Really, you're wrong. Only Michael Vick had the cannon out of all those guys. None of the other guys. The other guys were passers. That's what they were. Brunell, Stabler, and Young were passers. Vic was a thrower, not a passer. Never was a passer. Never will be a passer. Never considered a passer. Just a running quarterback with a really strong arm. Never a really good quarterback, ever. No matter what anybody tells you. That probably didn't even watch him. in 2040, and people are still waiting for Lamar Jackson to be a passer. Well, so we shall see. We shall see. By the way, Perdomo Cigars, proud sponsor of our program. They have lounges all over the country, whether in Pompano Beach, the Smoke Inn. You go to Georgia, in Haram, Georgia, the D&D, DD and Company, the Smoky Bear Cigars in Steenburg, New York, and of course, the one right here in Miami at 5150 Northwest 167th Street, where, listen, whether you go there or the nearest cigar bar, try the Estate Selección, which is just absolutely amazing. The 20th anniversary, the 10th anniversary, the 30th anniversary just is coming out now. Wait till you try that. Boy, that is rich in flavor. Make sure, I had the Maduro, I had a full stomach. Have a full stomach when you have it, because it is strong and it is rich. I love it, man. What a great smoke. Lot 23. I've got the Fresco, got the double age 12-year vintage, which I love. The sun-grown. The Maduro is my favorite, but the sun-grown, the flavor of it is just so good, dude. And that's the other thing about Perdomo Cigars. It is constructed from beginning to end. The pool is just absolutely amazing. Go check out the lounge right there off of 57th Avenue in the Palmetto. You might run into Nick Perdomo. You can take a selfie. They got like a 30-foot leather couch there. You can relax with your buddies, talk some sports, watch television. They got a pool table. A really cool lounge. And every Perdomo cigar that is made is there in that humidor. So go check it out at perdomocigars.com. All right. By the way, post-game show, David Furones and Safid Dean will be joining us, all right, in the post-game show. Both fresh from the locker room. So they'll have all of the info for us. Let's see what we have. I could be wrong, but I thought Doug Williams had, yes, he did. Doug Williams had a cannon of an arm. That's a good one. Forgot about Doug. Roy, nice job by you. Good memory, bro. Good memory. There's a highlight. I don't know. It's got to be on YouTube somewhere. Doug needs to get into the end zone. This was a tough hombre, okay? This is when he was with the Bucs. And I think that year he got him, maybe that was the year he got him to the NFC Championship game or some shit like that. And there were two guys at the goal line. And that son of a bitch put his shoulder right into both guys, put him on his ass, and he went right into the end zone for the touchdown. And it's just the kind of stuff. He was a tough dude, bro. I'll never consider him a great quarterback, but he was a good quarterback. He was a winner, okay? All right? And he was a passer, all right? But again, not a great quarterback. I don't put him in, the elite category, but I put him in the very good category overall. He might be the best quarterback that Joe Gibbs won a Super Bowl with, because I think he might be better than Joe Theismann. Okay? Definitely better than Mark Rippon. Mark Rippon was kind of like an aberration. He only had like a short window of success. And then he could never, whereas Doug Williams was a good quarterback throughout his career. He might have had some years where he was a little better than others, but he was always a good quarterback. And so is Joe Theismann, always a good quarterback. Okay, not great, but a good quarterback. You know what I mean? Whereas Mark Rippon only was a good quarterback for a short window. That's the difference. That's why I don't put him in the same category with the other two guys. Now, Joe Gibbs is in a completely different category all by himself, because he has the greatest feat of any coach in NFL history, winning 3 Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks and none of them Hall of Famers. Nobody will ever do that, ever. Nobody will ever even come close to doing that. They won't even win 2 Super Bowls with 2 quarterbacks that aren't Hall of Famers. Put it that way. Nobody will even come close to Joe Gibbs at all. It's impossible. That is the greatest feat by any coach in NFL history. Yes, I know, 17-0 and all that stuff. Not more impressive than Joe Gibbs' 3 championships, because it proves that his system His system won all the championships, not the quarterback. The quarterback was just part of the system. That's how good he was. He created a real system that you know what Belichick thinks he is? That's what Joe Gibbs is. You know how Belichick thinks it's his system and all that, and he can't even make the playoffs without Tom Brady. Joe Gibbs will win the Super Bowl without your ass. Oh, I'm leaving, Joe. You won't get anywhere with me. Oh, really? Yeah, sure. Go ahead, bro. Take off. I'll get somebody else. Yeah. That's Joe Gibbs. That's another level. That's another level coaching. Okay? Absolutely another level. Alexander says, really admire your work and your consistency, brother. Here's to another Dolphin season, hoping for the best. Yes, sir. We just need to see them stay away from injuries. That's all, man. People can make up all the crap that they want about this season, last season, and the offensive line. No, the offensive line wasn't that bad. The quarterback wasn't running for his life. The running backs averaged 4.5 yards a carry. The coach didn't run enough, bro. Okay? It wasn't a great line, but it wasn't as bad as you make it out to be. Tua was in the MVP race. You know, injuries derailed your season, including Tua getting injured. Your entire secondary getting injured. You know, so to me, that's what this whole thing is all about, is that sometimes, you know, we have people that need to do their jobs, but in order to keep their jobs, they have to get clicks and views. See, I don't work for a corporation. I don't answer to anybody. So I don't have to over dramatize shit to try to create more clicks and views. I don't need to get my name out there or anything. I'm not some YouTuber that is trying to build some name or something. I've been at this for over 30 years. If you don't know me by now, then, you know, whatever, bro. It is what it is. But I'm not here to make anybody happy. I'm not here to make you happy. I'm not here to make the other media members happy. I'm not here to make the Dolphins or the Canes or the Marlins or Inter Miami happy. I'm here to call it like it is. So I don't need to over dramatize shit and become this, you know, how you got either the permanent hater or you got the permanent homer, right? And they do it all for clicks and views. Because if you go permanent homer, then you get all those fans that are ultra sensitive and can't handle, you know, they only want to hear, they want to be in an echo chamber of positivity. They don't even want to hear the truth. And then you've got the guys that, and the women that feed off of the negativity, right? And in the media, they need that negativity in order to sell papers, in order to get views and all that kind of shit. Because they gotta get motion, they got to get things moving, and they got to impress their editors in order to keep their jobs. Thank the Lord. I am so blessed that I was able to get the hell out of the corporate world, and I don't have to play that stupid game. And I'm not going to play that stupid game where I sit here and what can I over dramatize? Where can I add sensationalism to this story so I can get a rise out of you? Yeah, I'll get a rise out of you anyway, man. When I tell you this or that you may not like, you know, like those of you with the Dalvin Cook stuff, you didn't like it. You didn't like hearing them. The Dolphins weren't ever going to trade for him and never going to give him any money. But you kept hearing it from everybody else because that's what you want to hear. You want to be in that echo chamber. And so the media had to keep you, oh, no, the interest in Jonathan Taylor is there. And then I would tell you, what kind of interest is it? That's the key. They never told you, right? Oh, they're interested. They won't tell you their level of interest until finally at the end when they knew it wasn't going to happen. Oh, well, you know, they weren't that interested. I just told you right from the get-go, they're not that interested. They're not overpaying. Now, if you want to give them low-hanging fruit, dude, they'll take it. I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear, bro. That we live in this world now where everything's an echo chamber. And if you don't hear what you want to hear, then that's it. I don't play that game. And that's the problem, that they play that game all the time. And I'm not playing that game. So it's just, we just keep it as the kids say, 100, screw the rest. You may like it, you may not like it, but at least we're not there to, tug you and pull your chain and keep you, strung along for stuff that shouldn't be there. Don't forget, folks, to please smash the hell out of the like button. We're up to 269. There's 170. So there's nearly 100 of you that have not given us a little hug, a little love. Love. We work hard for you. All right, 1 hour down. We've been on for a whole hour. Give me 2 minutes here. Quick break. When we get back, I got some stuff I want to talk about. Some heavy stuff to get ready for this game that I'm looking forward to. We'll get into that. Remember, you got any questions, send them in on the chat board. You can send in on a super chat. You can also make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. You are listening to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show, mastered by the one and only Sean Stanley.
You're listening to Miami Dolphins coverage on the Sports Talk 305 network, brought to you by EJDconstruction.com. This is the Miami Dolphins pregame show with Orlando Alzugaray.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CFs, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane, Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
points, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Welcome back to the best coverage of Miami Dolphins football on any platform. This is the EJDConstruction.com Miami Dolphins Pregame Show on the Sports Talk 305 Network. Here's your host, Orlando Alzugaray.
Welcome back, baby. It is our EJDConstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. And by the way, or pregame show that is. And if you do need custom home construction, major home remodeling in Dade or Broward counties, you call my guy Eric at 305-433-4843. Fully insured, liability, and workers' comp. So if anybody gets injured on your property, there is no way you will get sued. So whatever it is you need, from remediating your home to adding a second floor to building an efficiency to building an extra room, you name it, they do it all. Modernize the kitchen. You whatever custom home construction or major home remodeling you need, EJD Construction can get it done for you. And they've been proud sponsors of our program for many, many years now. And we appreciate them as the title sponsors of our pregame show. All right, let me give you also the inactives, just in case you're just tuning in. Skylar Thompson is inactive, but he is your third QB, so he's available. So now you know that Mike White will be the second guy, obviously. Cedric Wilson Jr., Elijah Campbell, Devon A-Chain, Teron Armstead, and Julian Hill. And as we told you that Elijah Campbell would be out this week, and that after this week, he'll be week to week after that. So we'll see when he returns, but it'll be a good return. Falcons, by the way, are leading the Panthers 17-10. Bryce Young with 2 interceptions in this game. And by the way, it is the same person. It is Jesse Bates. The third has both interceptions in this game. So bad news for Bryce as the Falcons are winning. Desmond Ridder is 13 of 16 for 70 yards, a touchdown, only 4.4 yards per attempt. That's not very good, folks. Okay. Also breaking news, J.K. Dobbins is injured. Apparently he has torn his Achilles tendon. That's what the word is. Sean, what do you got for me out there? Nothing? Okay. What else? Browns leading the Bengals. What do you got? Oh, the Dobbins thing? Was it?
Yeah, it was the Dobbins.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry.
And also Deontay.
I'm sorry I stepped on your breaking news there.
No, and then Deontay Johnson also out for Steelers, and also their tight end Freiermuth. Both are out.
Freiermuth. Yes. Freiermuth. Okay. All right. Yeah, that dude. Browns are leading the Bengals 13-3, dude. Joe Burrow has 71 yards on 11 of 25. Deshaun Watson is massaging it a little better, 13 of 26 for 137 yards, but he has an interception. He has no touchdowns. Now, Nick Chubb is, of course, 16 for 91. He's the man. They can run, bro. Cleveland can run the damn ball. Colts are leading the Jags 21-17 at the start of the fourth quarter. Jonathan, who? What about Jonathan Taylor? Why are running backs so important? Why are they not interchangeable? What do you got?
I was going to say that put the Colts ahead was probably one of the craziest plays I've ever seen. They sacked. It was a sack strip fumble. The Jacksonville player actually got it, held onto the ball. One of the Colts came and stripped it out of his hands. They picked it up and took it for a touchdown.
Beautiful. Beautiful. By the way, Travis Etienne has 13 rushes for 42 yards, a robust 3 yards a carry. Calvin Ridley, by the way, he's back. And if you gambled on him, He is 8 receptions, 101 yards, and a touchdown. Michael Pittman Jr., 4 for 71 and a touchdown for you fantasy freaks out there. Jonathan who? Jonathan Taylor what? Okay, Buccaneers and Vikings are tied up at 17. Saints are leading the Titans 16-9. The Niners annihilating the Steelers to start the fourth quarter 27-7. It is the Commanders leading the Cardinals 17-16 and 11:48 left in the fourth quarter. And then the Ravens are leading the Texans 22-9. Lamar Jackson, that new offense of his, he's such a great passer, right? He gets to pass a lot now. 13 of 18 for 132 yards and an interception. Boy, he's such a scintillating passer. He's just phenomenal, dude. Phenomenal passer. Just, the new offensive coordinator. They're giving him the freedoms to call his shots there. Going up against a real dangerous team in Houston. Whew, okay. But he's phenomenal. Don't forget, he's got that arm. He can throw it really far. Chargers, by the way, are favored by 3. The over and under is 50.5. Dolphins are plus 130 on the money line. The Chargers are minus 155. No Teron Armstead. Now, the decision not to play Teron Armstead was a good one. It's the right one. Why? He's not durable. That's been proven over and over again. Teron Armstead cannot survive the rigors of football without injuries. So he's already injured to start the season. Why are you going to have him hobbling out there in week 1? Could he probably have played through this injury? Yeah, but what's it going to do? Cause more injuries. So you do apparently have some kind of confidence in Kendall Lamb. And to Kendall Lamb's defense, he's played well. Now, is it well enough to stop Khalil Mack? Well, we're going to find that out now. You know what I'm saying? We'll find out if he can actually stop Khalil Mack. You know what I'm saying? That's the part that you and I cannot answer. Only Kendall Lamb can answer. And while you're all terrified and we're all nervous, and we all should be, because Kendall Lamb hasn't proven anything to us. He hasn't proven anything to the league yet. Now, he is dying to prove it because he carries himself with that kind of confidence. And maybe this is his moment. I have no idea. Linemen are really weird, dude. Linemen can bounce around, not figure things out for a couple of years, and then the light goes on, or they find the right system, the right coach figures them out. You just never know with linemen. I've seen them, I've seen the bulb go on in the second, in the fourth, in the 8th year. It's the weirdest thing. Okay? So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt only because I've watched this before with all kinds of linemen. And he has played well. And then you've got Austin Jackson on the other side, and he's going to have to deal with the Bosa brother. Okay? I don't know if they switch these two. You know where I get confused, and I have to watch this. I'm not watching the whole San Fran game. I think it's the other Bosa that they move around at times from one end to another sometimes. I think this Bosa, they keep him permanently. But if not, if they move him around a little bit, well, then sometimes Kendall Lamb will face Bosa. But I think, 95% of the time, it'll be Khalil Mack dealing with Kendall Lamb, and it'll be Austin Jackson dealing with Bosa. Okay? And here's the thing. If these guys can somehow pass the test, the season becomes even scarier for Dolphin opponents. Do you know why? All of a sudden, you figured out your right tackle position, and now you have depth at left tackle? Because Teron Armstead can play. And here's the best part. If Kendall Lamb can actually put up a good performance today, Do you know what's the best part about Kendall Lamb putting up a good performance today? You don't have to hurry Teron Armstead back. This is the ultimate test right here. You're facing as good a pass rusher as you're going to face as a duo all season long. So if these two cats can step up to the plate and do a good job overall, where Tua's not running for his life constantly, and where Alec Ingold or whoever else might be back there, their head is not on a swivel trying to figure out, which side is going to leak out first. If that's not the case, it turns into this monster positive for the Miami Dolphins. So as it's so easy to look at the negative, it's so easy to say Kendall Lamb will be a failure today, and it's so easy to say that Austin Jackson, he hasn't figured it out, for 4 years. Why would he figure it out now, right? It's so easy to say that. But the flip side could easily happen too. And if it does, then you got yourself one hell of a situation. Pretty cool situation. So that's how I kind of look at it. I'm not going to panic and worry and complain and bitch about it until I have to. They haven't played. They haven't proven whether they can do it or they can't. So why am I going to go in with a negative attitude about it? You know what I mean? Plus, I've watched Kendall Lamb. Dude's played well. Preseason doesn't mean shit. Training camp doesn't mean shit. It's not enough, as I've told you. But from what we've seen, the guy's earned the right to prove himself today. And he could come in big-time clutch for the Miami Dolphins if he can handle this challenge of Khalil Mack all day long. And then the Isaiah Wynn situation at left guard, well, we will see if he can handle it also. I'm actually happier that it's Isaiah Wynn. Liam Eichenberg, I do not trust at all. At all. And I have at least with Austin Jackson, I've seen the flashes where, okay, there have been moments. I can't tell you I've seen enough of that from Liam Eichenberg, and that's my problem. So I'm actually happy that it is Isaiah Wynn, at left guard. And remember, besides the inactives, you've got everybody that's out today is A-Chain, Armstead, Ramsey, Justin Bethel, Keon Crossan, Elijah Campbell, Nick Needham, Robert Jones, Jeff Wilson Jr., and Zeke Vandenberg. Okay? I got to mention the Illinois State outside linebacker. None of us really know much about him. He's a rookie and all that, but I got to mention him anyways. You know why? Because he might be somebody, because these guys find people that are undrafted all over the damn place. But no, seriously. So you've got all those guys injured. So that's what you're missing today. And they're missing a few people on their side, but this is a game where you have enough. I'm going to use the Eric Spoelstra line. You have enough to win the game. Mike McDaniel, Vic Fangio, Danny Crossman. It's up to you, man. Coaching staff, show me. Fangio, look, this secondary. I know you're going up against Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, and the Josh Palmer kid is also there. He's a pretty good player as the number 3 guy. But you got Javon Holland. You've got X-Man. Eli Apple is a veteran. You've got Kader Kohu. You've got Cam Smith. You've got a group of guys there that can help you out. You got Vernon McKinley, Deshaun Elliott. You've got Jones also at safety. You're getting him back. So you got guys, dude. You got enough in your secondary. And now, Jalen Phillips, it's time, young man. It's time. Bradley Chubb, brother. You've been in this division. You were in this division. You know the Chargers. You're healthy. You have your coach. You have no more excuses. You know this scheme. Last year, you were going into a new scheme with a coach that's, kind of new at it, but then also had the injured secondary, and then you injured your hand and you were chubbing the club. Okay, now you're not chubbing the club anymore. And now you know your scheme. There are no excuses. I need to see people that are studly become studs. That's why they're paying you. That's why they drafted you. And you're not going to win if X-Man is not a stud. You're not going to win if Tyreek is not a stud. You're not going to win if Waddle's dropping balls. You're not going to win if Tua's not a stud. You're not going to win if Robert Hunt doesn't maul the son of a bitch in front of him. So you win because Jalen Phillips brings it, and Chubb brings it, and David Long brings it. You got guys all over the place that are either proven, highly touted, or being paid a lot of money, and they've also had, they have to carry the brunt of these responsibilities. Christian Wilkins, brother, they offered you a deal, right? You want more than that. You want Quinnen Williams money? Well, then go get Quinnen Williams sacks. Oh, but I'm a run stopper. Yeah, problem is you got to stop quarterbacks and receivers and tight ends in this league. The running game, as Jonathan Taylor's seeing, you're not that important. The Colts are not supposed to beat the Jags, who're supposed to be a playoff-type team, and here are the Colts beating the Jaguars right now with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and they're up by 4. And they have no business winning this game. And they're doing it without Jonathan Taylor. So, lots of people, hey, Raheem Mostert, you heard Saquon, and you heard Dalvin Cook, and you heard Jonathan Taylor. And you heard that the Dolphins, hey, man, if they could get low-hanging fruit somewhere, and all these running backs are available, that's why nobody's trading for them, by the way. You can't, but I do. You ask people around the league, and they'll tell you, well, why are we going to trade for backs? They're all going to be available next year. And they're all going to be fighting for less money next year. They tell me that too. Because there's going to be a whole bunch of backs out there in free agency. And nobody's going to be paying you a lot of money. So nobody's trading for these backs because they're all going to be free agents next year. So there's a lot of people that got stuff to prove, man. And it's all here. It's all on paper. Now you've got to make this paper reality, man. That's what has to happen. This has to become reality. Jalen Phillips has to become a werewolf. And he needs to get double-digit sacks. Bradley Chubb has to do the same thing. That's how you're going to help Eli Apple and Kader Kohu and Cam Smith be better players, because you're getting to the quarterback and you're disrupting the passing game, and you're not exposing that side of the secondary to somebody who can be crafty and get open. Everybody's got a job to do, and Raheem Mostert heard it all. Well, then, bro, prove to people that you didn't need Jonathan Taylor. You gained an extra, 10 pounds of muscle this year, because you want to actually deliver some hits at times. Jerome Smythe, brother, they made a move for Darren Waller and others, and they kept Julian Hill, and they experimented with getting Higgy with it, and Tanner Connor, and so they're looking for somebody that's a playmaker. I don't think Durham Smythe can fill that hole, but he should be motivated to make some plays. So there should be motivation all over. Tua wants that big-ass contract. Well, you got to stay healthy, and you got to play smart. And today we will find out if Tua Tagovailoa plans to play smart this year. Okay? Plans to lead this team and stay healthy and stay in the lineup. And as we've said over and over again, how does he stay in the lineup the best way? By getting rid of the football. That's going to be the key for Tua Tagovailoa. Get rid of the football, young men. Please get rid of the football. Make a quick decision. Braxton Berrios, I'm expecting a monster year. And remember how I just said get rid of the football? That is going to be your safety valve. It's going to be what Linus and the blanket are in the Peanuts, right? That Linus doesn't go anywhere without that blanket. That's his safety valve right there. I expect Braxton Berrios to be the blanket for Tua Tagovailoa. He should have one hell of a year. Braxton is super smart, tough, can find the holes in the defense, and Tua is very quick to make the reads and know that, hey, my 1 and 2 options aren't open. Okay, Berrios, Smythe, whoever else, the running backs. It's going to be a rotation of who that third option is. Berrios will be at the top of that list. I guarantee you. And he should be. He should be incredibly productive this year. I mean, there's a lot of things to like. Chargers got a pretty good O-line. Rashawn Slater, Zion Johnson, Corey Lindsey's a damn good center, Jamari Saylor, and Trey Pipkins. Now, are they a monster line? No. Slater's a hell of a player. And wait a minute. There we go. Okay. So, I mean, this is a hell of a challenge for the Dolphins. There's no doubt. But it's a challenge that they can take advantage of. They have elite talent there. So it's up to you guys to start playing like it. Christian Wilkins, Sealer got a new contract. Jalen Phillips, Agba, all these cats, man. Chubb. They're more than talented enough to create havoc and force Herbert into mistakes. As you all know, I question Herbert. I don't question his ability. I don't question his talent. I know that is special. I don't think here he has that mental toughness. So I think you can rattle him. I think you can get to him. I think he's an athletic Jeff George. Let's just put it that way. So it's up to Miami to go in there and rattle that cage. You rattle that cage, you will force Herbert into mistakes. You will force him to get rid of the football faster than he would like. That's the key. Do not let him get comfortable because he's too talented. He can make throws. He's accurate overall, but you got to rattle him. That's what gets to him. Rattle his ass. And then you can have some fun. Then you'll be able to turn him over. Then you'll get him to choke like he has already several times in his young career. Okay? Last year, Miami was bending and really did not break much. They lost that game by 6, and if it wasn't because of the shitty offense, they should have won that game. It really wasn't the defense. Defense only allowed that quarterback 1 touchdown. Everything else was a field goal. So they were doing their job overall. It was the offense that failed. And McDaniel is on a test today because they schooled you last year. How do you answer? There's a lot to answer in this game. Okay? Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. I'm so psyched. Less than an hour away. Yes, sir. We are 31 minutes away now. 31 minutes away. It's all about Tua staying healthy. Yes, no doubt. But it's a couple of other things, you know. Offense also has to do their part. Also cannot commit penalties. Yes, you got to stupid penalties and stupid plays are unacceptable. Big task against this pass rush, but you're dead on accurate, Big O. Yes, it is. Big O, before last year, you told me how you get it. I'm jaded, but it's a new era that made all the sense to me in the world. Brother, last year was about injuries. That's it. I don't care. If they were healthy, they would have been much better. And we should all feel good about this team. Jay Newmark says that if we don't win today, we need to draft Van Dyke next year. We cannot lose any games to AFC teams this year. Yeah, I don't know about that. Isaiah Wynn is our left. Yes, Isaiah Wynn will be the left guard. I've been telling you that all week. In my experience, the ones that point out others' excuses are the first to make them to defend their lack of performance. Amen. Rob Budd says, feel the same way. We do have enough. Yes, there's enough to win today. There's no excuses. Nobody gets any breaks. Mike McDaniel and Vic Fangio do not get a break today. They don't. Tua needs 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. I don't know about 4 touchdowns, but 300 yards sounds about right. You know? If we lose, season is over. There you go. Football is a team game played by people, and people are not perfect. Yes, they are not. Yeah, Browns are pounding the shit out of the Bengals. Burrow was tired after counting his money. Well, that's a heavy load of cash, bro. Remember that scene in Scarface when it took forever? They had to count it over and over again. It takes a long time to count that money. D-Monet. Let's see. Tim Lee says, Phinz up. Not impressed with early slate of games. If studs play like studs, you should win a close-fought game. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Brock Purdy's looks steady, man, because he makes good decisions overall. Let's see. If football is a team game, then why are QBs so overpaid compared to every other position on the field? Because without a QB, you don't win. That's why. And it's hard to find the real competent QBs. There's only a few of those. Like I said, there aren't a lot of Joe Gibbs. Okay. In fact, there was only one. Only one Joe Gibbs in the history of football. There's one Joe Gibbs. No one else. Devin Jordan, thank you for the love on the super chat. Joe Shad just reported Miami Dolphins showing Isaiah Wynn in left guard. Not what? I told you it was Isaiah Wynn the entire week. I don't need game day to tell you that, bro. I knew it was Isaiah Wynn. That's not news. Where is Manny's show? I need him to eat sheet. Well, I don't know what that means. Yes, sir.
Well, to answer that, everybody thinks Manny is against the Canes because the way he reports the Canes.
Oh, Navarro?
Yeah, I believe that's what that one is for, man.
Really? How come Navarro says that?
Because he shoots straight. He doesn't kiss ass. He's not
and
all.
He's not all
going undefeated. He says they're going to lose. They need to do this and this and this, and people don't like it.
But what's it called? He thinks Cristobal's going to turn it around. So,
but they hear what he talks about this year's team, and everybody thinks this year's team is going to win the national championship.
Yeah, I know. I have them at 7-8 wins this year. So, if they're going to do this more often, then they got a chance to win more.
And then, I wanted to tell you on the Eichenberg thing, he was working with Connor Williams and Butch Berry before the game with Bradley Chubb working at center.
Right, yeah, because remember they traded their center. So yeah, they're still working on the back. So I'm sure he's kind of a swing, backing up center and guard. It's probably what it is. Big O, I have Jalen Waddle starting on my fantasy team. How many touchdowns, how many yards you think he'll get? Maybe a touchdown today, and maybe about 80 yards I'll go with. I think they're going to run a lot today. Okay, I don't think both receivers go over 100 yards. And I think Barrios also gets his yards too. So, and because I think they'll run, you know, you want to run if you can in this game because they are not good at it, and that'll keep their offense off the field and it keeps your defense a little fresh. But you got to score touchdowns, and that's where the passing game comes in. So I'll go 1 touchdown and 90 yards. How about that? There you go. I'll stick with that. Richardson just threw a pick that might have cost the Colts the game with 5 minutes left. He's a youngin'. What do you expect? I don't think he's a great passer yet. He's got a great arm, but not a passer. Joe Shad reports Dwight Stevenson out at center. That's pretty accurate. Big O, what could be the worst case scenario and how fans I don't talk about stuff like that, bro. I don't play the silly. Well, again, see, that's the drama-filled, sensationalistic bullshit. You're Adolfo, you're too used to listening to these other fucking clowns that need to create drama. Oh, well, the worst case scenario and this and that. Why should I talk about that, bro? If it's bad at the end of this game, then we'll talk about it. But why am I going to talk about bad shit? That's the problem with you people. You feed off negativity, bro. Why are you doing that? You're like my buddy 30 years ago that goes to me, so you're getting married? What about if you have to get a divorce? And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? You think I'm thinking about a divorce? I'm in love with this woman. I want to be with her. That's it. I'm still with her. I plan on staying with her. But, like, you don't get married to think about divorce. Hey, Sean, let's start off this business here, and we'll put together a daily show, but we'll only do it for a couple of weeks. All right, Sean? Just a couple of weeks. Then we're done. No, dude. Let's grow the show. He and I, we had Showtime now, we pre and post game shows. We had more sponsors. Our listenership, our viewers keeps going up. You want to grow. You think positive. Why am I going to think about the worst and how to handle it, bro? Why would I do that? It's too many of you just feed off, and the media knows it, bro. The media knows that the average person feeds off negativity. And so they know it's the easy way to get hits and views. Just scoop your ass right in, dude. Chris Daughtry is in upstate New York. Can't wait for Tua to light it up with our run game, opening it up, and Herbert to throw another pick. Let's go. Rosendo says, bless us with the team's spirit of goodwill, both for ourselves and the team we face in the game. Help us be the best we can possibly be. To strive to play fairly and well, and we ask this in your name. Lord Jesus, amen. Way to go, Rosendo. Let's see. What else do we have? We need negative Big O back. Exactly. Well, when the team is shitty, you'll get negative Big O. But if I think the team is good, and I think the quarterback is good, and I think the front office is good, you're not going to get me to say anything negative about him, because I don't think I should say anything negative about him. But if I think Joe Philbin or Jeff Ireland or Dave Wanstead or Adam Gase can't do shit, then you're going to hear me raise hell like you have in the past. But I like what's going on here. I'm the guy that told everybody fire Dale Talon before anybody even closely had the balls to say it. Right? And years ago, I said fire Adam Gase and Mike Tannenbaum and put Chris Greer in place. So it's there. It's just because you're negative all the time, Bromar Smelly, that's where you live, my brother. That's your problem, not mine. I call it like I see it. So if it's negative, then we'll call it, then it is. And if it's positive, then that's the way we're going to go. It's pretty simple. Problem is we have the echo chamber society. And all of you out there, you want to hear what you want to hear. That's your problem. And a guy like Bromar only wants to hear. Bromar and Troy Ortiz are two of the kind of people that all they feed on and live off of is negativity. I've seen it, they've been following this platform for a couple of years now. So you see their tendencies and who they are and their personalities, so people like that feed off of negativity because that's how they live. Everything is the worst. Does Tannehill really have 3 interceptions today? That is funny. That can't be true. You're just doing that to get a smile out of me, right? He does. Oh, he's already 10 killing the dude. 16 of 34, a robust 198 yards, 3 interceptions. He's already 10 and killing the season for them. Wow. Has he gotten any players injured with late passes? I'm not watching the game, so, I've always felt that those games are rated R. You should always hide the women and children for Tannehill games because your players are just going to get completely annihilated. Oh, the Jags pulled away 31-21 after that interception and everything. So Colts do have the ball, but there's a minute 59 left in the fourth quarter. Game's over for them. Bucks they beat the Vikings 20-17. Wow. That is amazing. 2 minutes left, by the way, in that game with the Saints and the Titans. And the Saints are winning 16-15. The Niners have annihilated the Steelers 30-7 with a minute left. And the Commanders leading the Cardinals 20-16 with a minute left in the fourth. They do have the ball. So there you go. And the Ravens leading the Texans 25-9 in that game. Yeah. So there you go. That's funny, dude. That fool already has 3 interceptions. It's just the fun. The funny part was when Derrick Henry was running and they were winning, how some of you got suckered, and especially some in the media got suckered trying to think that was like he was turning some kind of corner or something. That was freaking hilarious. So captivity of negativity. Release yourself from the chains of negative emotions. You get to choose and regulate your emotions. Negative emotions are the devil's work. Well, I don't know about the devil's work, but I just think it's kind of lame that you're going to just look at it in a negative fashion. Bro, Tannehill has stolen more money than anyone else in the NFL, humble. Nobody steals money like Ryan Tannehill. Yeah, that guy has stolen money forever in this league. He has fooled people because he's a good dude, very likable person. Easy to root for too, by the way, because he's a good dude. But it's just you just see it that the it factor it was never there, just never there. You can tell everything was mechanical, everything was remedial. That's what it looked like to me, and. So, I don't know. Kenny Pickett. Yeah, Kenny Pickett. Well, he's young, but, that's how it goes, right? It's kind of part of and it's a brutal defense. Remember, last year, What was the stat? There were only like 2 quarterbacks in the entire NFL against San Francisco that threw for a certain amount of yards and touchdowns, and Tua was one of them, by the way. Even in the loss, Tua had some of the better numbers against San Francisco. Most quarterbacks struggle against San Francisco. I'm not sure if you guys know that, by the way. So poor Kenny Pickett, it's the first game of the year. You know what I'm saying? And it's not the easiest thing, bro. San Francisco's a pain in the ass. It's a monster defense. We did it last year because, again, people overreacted about it. And when you looked at the entire season last year and all the quarterbacks, you remember, I think you remember that show, right? Right, Sean? You remember that show when we went through and you saw that most every other quarterback was way worse than Tua against the Niners. And yet people just like, again, dude, it's what I tell you. It's one of those deals where if you're not, what's that called? If you're not over dramatizing the shit, then, then you're not doing your job in the media is what ends up happening. Let me see here. By the way, Kenny Pickett today was 31 of 46, 232 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Brock Purdy was 19 of 29 for 220 and 2 touchdowns. What are you going to say there, Sean?
Anthony Richardson trying to make it into the end zone is still down. I'll keep you updated.
Oh, God. He got injured?
Yeah, it looks like, he got it. He got a shoulder pad to the side of the helmet. Probably got his bell rung. Looks like.
Wow. Let me see. Tua had 295 yards, 18 of 33, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions against, I think it was like he was one of 2 quarterbacks to throw for nearly 300 yards, against them last year. Tom Brady, 34-55, 253 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Worse than Tua against the Niners. Worse than Tua against the Niners. See, it's the problem. If you want sensationalism, you got plenty of people in the media that are going to fucking give that to you. You want it. You want somebody to be honest and tell you what it really is, then okay. Last year there was it doesn't count. Unfortunately, Aaron Rodgers did not play, but Jordan Love and Danny Etling, okay? Jordan Love threw for 176 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. But it's not Aaron Rodgers, so it's no fun. I'm trying to pick some good quarterbacks from last year against them. I think the only other one, where's KC? It had to have been the Monster, right? Where's the Monster at? What did he do? The Monster went 25 of 34 for 423, 3 touchdowns and interception. But Mahomes is the Monster. Like, he's the only other guy. I'm trying to think of another decent quarterback that they played last year. Geno Smith. I guess Geno Smith was a decent quarterback last year. He threw for 31 for 44 for 238 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. So Tua threw 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions and more yards than Geno Smith. So he had a better game stat-wise in a way. Geno had the better touchdown to interception ratio. But if you look at it overall, like, everybody struggled pretty much against San Francisco. But people will tell you, oh, Tua. Well, bro, everybody struggles against San Francisco. but whatever, man. It's just the way people are. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo.
The Marlins end up winning. They won 5.
The Marlins won. There you go. Okay. Marco Ferrante. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. He sent it in by Cash App at Cash Big O Show. Made a donation. Appreciate you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He says, thank you, Big O. Go, cheers. Marco Rocks. Thank you, Marco Rocks. Appreciate you, my man. Cash App or Venmo as always. Thank you. What else do we have? You see anything on I don't see any breaking Dolphin news. Right? Nothing else. We pretty much have the inactives. We already knew who the left guard was. That was not news. What else? No, I don't think we have anything new.
There's one thing, it's not new, but Chris Perkins, I guess, kind of confirming Eli Apple starting in nickel at boundary, Kohu in slot.
Okay. Eli Apple is the boundary and Kohu. Well, I expected Kohu to be the slot, but Eli Apple, okay, the Cam Smith thing, not yet.
That's for Chris Perkins.
Yeah, that not yet. So they're not doing that yet. I got that. Okay. And finals, by the way, just to help you guys out there, 24-10 Falcons beat the Panthers. It is the Jags beating the Colts 31-21. It is the Commanders beating the Cards 20-16. The Browns pounded the Bengals 24-3. The Buccaneers over the Vikings 20-17. And the Niners pound the Steelers 30-70. We've got 2 games left. And the Saints are with the ball are leading 16-15 with 1:41 left in the fourth quarter. And then the Ravens, there's 35 seconds left. They're looking to wrap up this game 25-9. Texans have the ball, but they can't do anything. So that game is pretty much over. We are going to be on the second the game is final. That's when we go live here on the channel. So come back to the channel, por favor. And you know what? You can, while you're watching the game, let this pregame show replay. There's an idea. Just let it replay. You know? When you walk away, let it play. True Fin fan, he says, new troll alert. J and Mark. Okay. So we got a new troll. All right. Adolfo Foliaco. Thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. He says, apologies for the comment earlier. Anxiety is killing me. Maybe I need weed or something. Well, dude, roll up a fatty, relax, kick back, light it up, vape it, have a cigar, you know, a nice, strong Perdomo cigar on a full stomach. That'll get you a little buzzing. You'll be grooving. Relax, bro. Watch the Dolphins. Give yourself a chance to enjoy this. I've been telling Dolphin fans all off season, get off the negativity bullshit. Okay, bro? The stuff that derailed this season was injuries, nothing else. So let's hope that, you know, the bad luck they've had recently, that's kind of the end of it and they get on a nice run, because if they're healthy, they should win a lot of games. They should get in the playoffs. They should make some impact in the playoffs. So let's enjoy the ride. Why get on the negative train like people have been with the Canes? And look, they're 2-0. Like, oh my God, the world is falling for Inter Miami, this, that. They ended up winning last night. Came up with the biggest win of the year without Lionel Messi in the lineup. You know, it's super easy to give in to the negativity. It's super easy to just give up, you know, but they don't deserve this. The owner in the front office has done a great job of building this thing up. The coach has done a phenomenal job of building up his staff. I think they've had a terrific offseason overall. Are they a finished product? Hell no. This is only the second year for this coach. How in the hell does he have everything in place? There's no way he's going to have everything in place. But for now, he's got enough of a roster that he can go out there and compete. So why don't we just give it a chance and let it develop? And then let's react after. That's all. And hopefully it's a positive performance and we can then kind of enjoy it like we did with the Canes yesterday, like we've done now with Inter Miami. Look at the damn Marlins. They took 2 of 3 from the Phillies and 2 of 3 from the Dodgers. This was the tough stretch. They're keeping themselves in the damn playoff race. So just give it a chance, dude. That's all. It's the way it should be. Let's see. R.I.P. Teron Armstead. What's up there, Sean?
I was say Anthony Richardson did walk off on his own. Did not go to the blue tent, just so people are wondering.
Was there any massages being taking place on the blue tent in the Browns game?
I don't think so, but that score does not show anything of how Watson played. It wasn't good.
Watson played like crap. But I'm just wondering, did he get a massage in the blue tent during the game? You know,
for the ending, the happy ending.
They did get a happy ending there in Cleveland. That they did. They did. Let's go. Oh, I smashed the like button. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. 244, and there's 234. So there's a bunch of you right now that have not hit that like button. Hit that like button for us, man. Smash it for us before you go out. You know, we could easily go over the 242 because, you know, we have people that come and go throughout. So let's see if you guys right now that are watching can get us over 242 right now. There's a couple of you that haven't hit it. I bet you could get us over 242 right this second. Come on. I have faith in you all. Come on. I know you got love for Sean, for Frankie, for Chad, maybe a little bit for me, but more for all these other guys that work on the platform. 249 to 239. Not bad. Not bad. There you go. There you go. Even though some faded out on the other end. So made it easier. But smash it. All right. Hey, we post game we're gonna have Safadine and we're gonna have David Furones this week joining us. And obviously we'll have all the news for you coming out of the locker rooms, any injuries, any breaking news. We'll have all of that. I'll work the phones like I always do. So we'll have all the reaction for you here in the post-game show. We will see you guys. We thank Sean Stanley, as always, for mastering the pregame show. We thank, of course, Eric from EJD Construction, a proud sponsor of our pre- and post-game show. We will catch you on the other side when the Miami Dolphins defeat the Los Angeles Chargers 29-18 and go 1-0 on the season. We will catch you on the other side with the Dolphins being 1-0 in our post-game show later on this evening. Have a great one out there and be safe.
This has been the EJDConstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show on the Sports Talk 305 network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Show. From home to kitchen to bathroom additions and remodelings, get in contact with one of the best contractors in the business. Call Eric at EJDConstruction.com, 305-433-4843. Please subscribe to our platform by searching Big O Radio Show on all digital avenues. We'll be back with a complete wrap-up of the game once the last second ticks off the clock. Thank you for your support and enjoy Dolphins football.